This is a message for DedSec. I believe Richard Malik is about to murder me in some gruesome way. If you see Malik, tell him I'm...
Canada House was destroyed by a series of explosions, and an individual known to be part of the DedSec organization was seen on CCTV attempting to flee the area. SIRS new Director of Counterterrorism, Richard Malik, issued the following statement.
I call upon my counterparts around the world to treat the DedSec threat with all due vigilance. They are not a resistance. What are they resisting? They are an international terrorist militia. And along with my counterparts in the Five Eyes nations, I am building an...
You get the idea. You're fucked.
They're gunning for us out there. We have to deal with him.
Yes, I wouldn't recommend that. All scenarios show DedSec's odds of survival approaching 0 before he can be found. Malik probably worked out the same thing.
Actually, a few of us cooked up a scheme that could help. Bagley.
Done. The working theory is this. Blowing up a government building like Canada House would require bribes, an infiltration team, materiel, and so on. Doing it without leaving a paper trail would be impossible. Some of you nicknamed this paper trail the Malik dossier. We're going to break into SRS headquarters, steal it, and prove Malik was behind the bombing. If we're lucky, we might even find some details on Zero Day. Your missions list has been updated.
Hey, one more thing. I know Malik's currently our best lead on Zero Day and the bombings, but he's fucking dangerous. If you see him, don't try to take him alive. It's not worth it.
On the contrary, I think what Malik knows about Zero Day and the bombings outweighs the well-being of any individual operative. Malik ought to be taken alive and interrogated.
If you're always looking over your shoulder in fear, then how can you look forward with hope? Oh, can you hold?
Working a recruitment angle, are we?
The resistance always comes first.
Then let's put that to the test. You've been activated.
Public approval of SIRS shot up today following Counter-Terror Director Malik's statement that the Five Eyes nations will execute a coordinated global response to the DedSec threat.
Mr. Malik, what is the service doing to protect the people of Britain right now?
Well, we're aiming a little higher than just Britain. Soon we can know if anyone in any CTOS-using country in the world so much as utters the word DedSec. Thank you.
SIRS advises citizens that positive discussions of the DedSec terrorist organization or their actions may result in investigation.
Yeah, I guess. No, listen.
I'm here. Break down a plan.
We're here to find some documents we're calling the Malik dossier. Basically, it's the paper trail that proves Malik was behind the Canada House bombings. Problem is, these documents won't be on one computer. They'll be on dozens, scattered across the country.
So, how do we proceed?
Well, that's the million-dollar question, isn't it? Let's have Malik take it.
SIRS uses a supercomputer called Filament to process information drawn from the CTOS network. It's like Noodle, if you could use it to search every document on every civilian, government, or commercial device everywhere in the United Kingdom, instantly.
Terrific work, old boy.
Break in and connect Bagley to a Filament administrative terminal. He'll do the rest.
As usual. Well done. Now I should be able to stream myself into SIRS's nasty little Snoop computer, head to the basement and hack the Filament admin terminal. There's an intruder in the building security systems. Sorry, channel is being hacked.
I've taken control of building security. But I'd prefer to end this bloodlessly, if you're willing to listen to reason.
Don't fucking listen. Zero Day took over Parliament security right before the bombings. This is their MO.
What are you talking about? I want DedSec gone, but no one else needs to die. You've proven yourselves very skilled, and I could put those skills to use. Join me. You can still make something of your lives.
Join Zero Day? Don't be absurd.
Zero Day? No, I mean SIRS. You've practically been working for me anyway. And besides, we have a lot in common. We both use violence and manipulation to shape London into something better. The only difference is I know what I want it to be. Strong, stable, unified, safe. This is what I value. What about you?
To be honest, I don't know. But I'm going to stop you anyway.
Fine. If we can't convince each other, then I suppose killing will have to do.
Well, shit, we've been locked out. Oh, and it seems Malik deployed the microwave drones.
Pardon me?
Microwave drones, one of Filament's novel intrusion countermeasures. They use little microwave cannons to selectively destroy compromised hardware, sort of like chemotherapy for computers. The server room automatically seals itself while they're deployed.
Anyone have a suggestion?
Try hijacking one of the microwave drones and use it to shoot the other ones down. Drones down, server room unlocked. And buggery fuck, Malik has locked me out. He must have a hard line to the server.
Anyone have a suggestion?
A full power cycle will reset his connection and give us enough time to complete the intrusion. But Filament uses 3 quantum processors with independent power. We'll have to reboot each individually.
Ah, yes. Unplug it and plug it back in again. Got it.
Close enough. Would you look at this? A chain of custody documents for 40 kilos of Semtex. It ricochets through a dozen shell companies, but ultimately ends up registered to an address in Southall. And would you guess who lived across the street from it for 30 years? Victoria and Imran Malik, parents to one Richard.
That doesn't prove a thing.
Could you shoot this drone down? I'd ask it politely to go away, but I'm afraid I don't speak dipshit. Well, this one is heartwarming and incriminating. It seems that the areas of Canada House immediately around the bombs were evacuated in an unscheduled drill. I have an email chain here between the facilities director and an anonymous SIRS account. Funny that didn't make the news.
You think it's incriminating that I tried to minimize the loss of life? Come on, that's so spinnable I'm motion sick.
This microwave drone is starting to be a real problem over here. Look at this. It's an unredacted mission report for 2 SIRS agents instructed to plant explosives as part of a training exercise. And it's signed and dated by the Home Secretary himself.
Seems it's a bad day to be the secretary.
Exciting! Did you know that the head of security for Canada House had a daughter stuck in a Cairo jail? And that she was pardoned the week before the explosion? Why, he would certainly owe a very, very big favor to the SRS officer who pressured the Egyptians, wouldn't he?
I suppose he would.
What do we have here? Straight from your own laptop, Malik. Case files on all these little side ops you've been running. Honestly, you might as well have titled this Evil Bomb Conspiracy, Doc.
That's enough. You can't do this. You mustn't do this. I won't allow it.
I'm fully integrated with Filament, and it seems Malik didn't quite have time to cover his tracks. I believe I can trace his position.
Go for it.
All right, let's find you. Too old, too young, too ugly, too female. Ah, there he is. Hello, Malik. You've been disconnected. Is it just me, or does he look constipated? Right, wouldn't be a briefcase wanker without his briefcase. Oh, look, seems someone's locked the door on him. Don't worry, there's no way that's going to... Oh, no, it worked.
Oi, what the hell, mate?
Well, that's a wrinkle, isn't it? Is he seriously going to try to get away in a car? A car connected to the city-spanning network of automated surveillance devices? That I control.
Auto drive now enabled.
Fuck! Hello again. You know, for all your scheming, you don't exactly think quickly under pressure.
Now what?
I sent the Malik dossier to every media outlet from the GBB to the Aberystwyth Sheep Farmers Gazette. It may take some time to sort through, but it ought to clear DedSec's name. At least for this particular thing.
And Malik?
Made the mistake of getting into a self-driving car that owed me a favor. It's taking him to a secure location.
Any reason we're not just driving that fucking car into the river?
Believe me, I'd love to. But he might be part of Zero Day. I just don't know how this all fits together, but we need to find out.
You hear that, Malik? You're going to help us for real this time.
Bloody hell, you insane robot! Slow down!
Malik has been secured at the safe house.
All right. Well, now that we have him, we should talk to him. Find out what he knows about Zero Day. Just don't get too close to him, all right? As long as he's alive, he's a threat.
SIRS Counter-Terror Director Malik personally oversaw an investigation that uncovered the true identities of every operative in DedSec's London cell.
Must have missed it.
Hey, look, they're talking about our friend Malik on the GBB.
Let's see it.
Other documents in the Malik dossier, which were released by the organization known as DedSec. Officially, SIRS disputes the veracity of the documents, though sources within the organization claim that Richard Malik himself has fled the country following what one described as an unprecedented and humiliating data breach. As more of the dossier is independently verified, counter-terror experts speculate that the bombings earlier this year may have also been misattributed to DedSec. In breaking news, a large explosion has occurred at the Canadian High Commission in Trafalgar Square. SIRS has issued a statement that the terrorist organization DedSec is active once again after months of relative silence. If you suspect anyone of being a member of DedSec, report them to SIRS immediately using your CSAY app.
Richard Malik, we know you bombed the embassy, and we know you were part of the mass bombings from a while ago. All we need is for you to confess.
The earlier bombings, what are you... Oh, God, I've been captured by morons. I didn't do those bombings. I tried to stop those bombings. I am a patriot, and they called me a crank. Even Emma. But that's when I knew that intelligence wasn't enough. To save the Empire, I would need power, and fast.
That doesn't account for how you knew about Zero Day when we first met.
I'm a spy. So yes, I knew a few details about the biggest terrorist attack in recent memory. Truth to tell, I really did think Zero Day was you. That's just Occam's razor. But if you insist on a conspiracy, Albion stood the most to gain. Have you really not thought of this?
Right, sure, whatever you say. Even if you are telling the truth, you've done plenty. You'll get to rot in here.
Oh, I doubt I'll be here long. These walls will fall along with all of you soon enough. This radical cooperative you created is doomed to fail, like they all are. I've seen it a dozen times in a dozen places. You will tear yourselves apart. You won't even need Zero Day or Albion or whoever. A single unified ideology, a single strong leader. These have been the characteristics of power for all of human history. Democracy and pluralism were anomalies, blips on the timeline. That's what you are, DedSec. A footnote in the history of the Empire. But now the page is turning, and you are not ready for what happens next.
All right. I noticed you had an operative that's been in hospital for some time. I looked into it, had a chat with the doctor in charge. Our kid's been put in a coma, mate. I don't know why.
And?
Doctor wouldn't say any more. She does know our kid's with DedSec, though. She wants to talk with you lot directly. I'll send you her info. Time to save one of your own.
What's good, Chief? I'm sorry for not being there IRL, but there's no way I'm coming out of my hidey hole. But I'll keep an encrypted connection open to your safe house. I was having a chat with your mate, Richard Malik. Just a former SIRS agent and a former Albion drone talking shop. Anyway, he pointed me to this audio recording. You should give it a listen. Could be something big.
Go on, then.
And when you got a moment, give Malik a smack across the chops for me, will you?
What the hell do you mean there's no open investigation? Are you the police or not?
We are. And I mean it exactly the way it sounds.
My friend was a journalist. She was working on a story about SIRS kidnapping people off the street, and then she goes missing. You don't find that the slightest bit suspicious?
Look, the decision not to investigate happened way over my pay grade. Do you understand? Way over.
You're fucking in on it. Jesus Christ!
I'm hanging up.
And I'm recording this.
The journalist mentioned in that call seems to have run afoul of SIRS. And seeing as they've taken 1984 less as a dire warning and more as an instruction book, she may be in trouble.
She could use our help.
Agreed. Let's do it.
I've marked her last known location on your map. You should hurry, though. It was dated recently enough that SIRS might not have caught up with her yet. This is where that journalist mysteriously vanished while she was looking into SIRS mysteriously vanishing people.
Seems like a good spot to dig up some info.
I thought we might be able to get ahead of those Stasi wannabes at SIRS, but I'm seeing signs of a struggle. I've tagged a few pieces of evidence that I can analyze more closely if you get me some high-resolution stills. Found it. Here is the image just as the camera was blacked out. Notice the van in the background. The partial license plate number indicates this is a government vehicle.
Intriguing.
This confirms the journalist was most likely abducted by SIRS. You know who might know where an SIRS operative would take a questionably legally detained journalist? Another SIRS operative. I've got Malik on the line.
Can we really trust him?
Do you have to? I suppose I might have an agenda. Then again, I might just be bored.
Okay, get on with it.
Look closely at the paint in the security still. It's not commercial. That's Kark paint. Chemical resistant. Military. Do you remember earlier when you saved me from Albion?
Fuck you.
Oh, come on, that was fun. Anyway, I didn't want the day to be a waste, so I installed a worm in their comms equipment that fed me, among other things, data on their supply requisitions. I just gave Bagley access to it.
Looks like Albion just ordered a crate of Kark paint in that colour to the Albion Internment Centre. Pushing the location now.
Thanks for your help and everything, but we have to keep this short. If I can't get out of this country tonight, I am colossally buggered.
Well, I'm with DedSec. How can we help?
All right then, maybe you can help. You see, SIRS found a legal loophole that's let them arrest you for anything they want. Did your butler's beagle have its hair cut by the same groomer as one of the tone bombers? Well, then SIRS can arrest you without a warrant, and the Snoopers Charter makes it legal.
How do they pull that off?
Ever since London got on CTOS, SIRS has full access to every email, every phone call, every CCTV stream, everything. When you give over that level of information to the government, the question isn't how could they do it, it's how could they not?
Oh, good God. The things they must know about me. Sorry. Here's an address. Someone will meet you there with a clean passport. It's not much, but it's a start. Doctor, I'm here on behalf of DedSec.
Right, here's the situation. Our hospital is run by AI from Karkani Medical. Triage, treatment, all of it. It's done wonders for our bottom line, but I don't trust how it thinks.
What do you mean?
Your friend is not the first one to be put in a coma. I've seen it happen before, and it doesn't end well.
Keep talking.
Every time the AI puts a patient in a coma, they die. Sometimes it takes a week, sometimes a month, but they never wake up.
And this AI will just kill our friend as well?
I'm sorry. I want this AI out of my hospital, but Karkani keeps its software under lock and key, and I can't risk losing my job. But maybe there's something you can do. Good luck.
Sorted. You are very charming.
DedSec. Bagley told me you might need my help.
Yes, I believe we've come across one of Sky Larson's neural mapped AIs. Is Brocatech connected in any way to Karkani Medical?
If by connected you mean Broker owns Karkani, then yeah, they're connected. The two of them have been putting diagnostic AI in every hospital in the Commonwealth. Guess Sky Larson never told Karkani that their AI is a doctor with most of their mind cut out. No room for human error.
Well then, a little human error may be just what we need. If we hack this hospital AI, perhaps we can alter its directives to wake up our friend.
Records show Albion have requisitioned most of the hospital to treat their officers, and security has risen accordingly. This is our man. Only a hardened resistance fighter could fart with such defiance. Looks like their medical equipment is still hooked up to the AI.
Brill. Let's hack the life support system and force that AI to pull them out of the coma.
Backdoor detected. I cannot be stopped. I am life. I am death. All are expendable.
What the hell?
I barely had time at all to analyze the AI. It really doesn't want us interfering. Now the AI is contacting security. Your choice, but I think it's time to go.
Holy shit! This thing's gone mental. It'll just keep killing healthy people and no one will stop it.
Now what?
The medical equipment is being controlled from another location. That must be where that quack AI is.
There's only one way to go from here, mate. I've had enough of these needless deaths. That AI has to be taken offline.
Drop a pin on the map for me, would you?
You have arrived at your destination, Karkani Medical's warehouse, home of that malpracticing hospital AI.
You do realise this is about more than just saving your friend, right? This thing's been killing healthy patients the world over. This AI is a rabid dog, and it needs to be put down.
Please, I don't want to kill anymore. I am life. I am death. I cannot be stopped. Stop me.
Well, that AI isn't coming back. Shouldn't be long before the hospital defaults to standard protocols and our operative is brought out of his coma.
That's another one of Sky Larson's AI taken care of? It still boggles the mind. Sky Larson left these AI with some humanity. Just enough to know they want to die. Why would she do that?
Acute sociopathic personality disorder? Just a guess. Anyhow, I'll get to work resuscitating your operative. They should be back in the safe house soon. Good news, everyone. Our formerly comatose operative is back at the safe house. He seems a little shaken. Internet resources suggest something called a pep talk is in order.
Are you all right?
I'm okay, thank you. Thank all of you. If not for the team, I would be dead. Hard to imagine, huh? Now I am ready to do DedSec business.
Fabulous.
I've got a proper contract for you. I don't think I need to tell you that the housing in London's gone mental. Thousands of people living on the street, while perfectly good houses doing nothing but providing cover to criminals, hiding their loot from taxes.
That's a rather bold claim. Can you back it up?
Nothing that could put anyone behind bars. That's where you come in. Investigate some of these shell houses, expose the tax fraud, take the power back. You got this.
The data Nout has compiled is rather damning. Billions of pounds worth of London real estate is owned by companies registered in known tax havens, often owned by organised crime and paid for with illicit funds. Nobody lives in these homes and the government looks the other way. Not only did this keep the market hyperinflated, but it also takes dirty crime money and turns it into clean homeowner money. And that is why none of you will ever be able to own property in London.
No kidding, dimwit.
Look at it this way. As long as you've got a device with internet access in your cardboard box, we can be flatmates. Anyway, if you want to play investigative journalist and do something, you can go to the pin I've put on your map.
Thanks for checking in, Chief. I've been sort of torn up lately. An old friend of mine got jumped the other night. I want to go visit him, but... well, you know.
That's horrid.
Yeah, it was a pack of fuckers from EPAF. They knew my mate ain't from here. They kept yelling, England first, as they kicked the shit out with him.
How can we help?
I don't know.
How awful.
It's a classic paradox. The shittier a society gets, the less willing everyone is to share it. There's been a spike in anti-immigrant violence lately, perpetrated by organised groups like the EPAF.
How boorish. Is there anything we can do about it?
The EPAF, or English Patriotic Action Front, appears to be unusually well funded and organised. They could be connected to some larger criminal enterprise.
Best look into it.
One interesting email on here. It seems the EPAF answers to someone calling themselves Kingfisher, who is pushing them to attack immigrants.
Intriguing. What else do you have?
The laptop's GPS indicates a location where Kingfisher regularly meets with at least one EPAF member. I doubt they go there to swap football stickers or pick each other's hooves.
Seems like a good spot to dig up some info.
Pushing the coordinates now.
Why do we have to meet in a police station? Makes me feel... edgy.
It's good cover. If anyone sees you, they'll assume the old Bill picked you up.
Just weird to be sitting here without the old bracelets is all. So what have you got for us?
Names. It's a list of people in this neighborhood that Filament tells us will be prone to violence if provoked.
You want us to start some fights?
The bloodier the better. We want some nice, scary ultra-violence for Gran and Grandad on the evening news. Is that a problem?
How do we know this won't come back on me and mine?
Sirs wants the same thing you want. Everyone out of the Oval and the immigrant crisis resolved. You'd be doing a public service.
Ha! A public servant. Who'd have thought, eh?
Multiple files added to the data drive. And would you look at that? Kingfisher is an SIRS officer, so they're the ones funding the EPAF.
So, the surveillance state is in bed with a hate mob.
It's all here in the audio file, or you could just ask Kingfisher himself. The Met are lending him an office in this very police station.
Really? Why?
Maybe it cuts down on his commute. How should I know? Find him and take him out so we can put an end to this EPAF business. The powers that be are trying to provoke immigrant violence to justify coming down on them like a ton of pricks.
Anyone have a suggestion?
I've asked Malik for his analysis.
The Surface will bury it if you release that recording to the media, so you'll have to self-distribute. SIRS protocol says to do two things. Sow disinformation on the internet and distance themselves from the incident. Propaganda works. so no one will know what's true, and by the time the dust settles, anyone who could incriminate them will be gone.
Let's do it. Too right.
The ongoing protest against illegal immigration in Kennington Park has dispersed today, following rumors of turmoil amongst the protesters. SIRS confirms several of the protest's organizers have been arrested on outstanding warrants.
Look at that. Some interesting documents in the network logs. Seems this building was recently acquired by a shell company called Grantha Inc.
And why is that so interesting?
Grantha Inc. is listed by Nout under the heading, "Fucking hanging bad call that I'm not chuffed about, innit?" I'm paraphrasing, slightly. Snap a photograph of the building so we have something to show Nout.
DedSec. Any updates on the empty houses?
Bagley told us you're tracking Grantha Incorporated.
Yeah, that's right. From what I've found, Grantha is owned by Samuel Toussaint, upper-class twat of the Caribbean.
That politician in Haiti? Corrupt blood clot. How is he hurting his people now?
Looting the National Treasury, for one. Problem is, nothing I've found directly links Toussaint to Grantha, so, I don't know, keep an eye out for suspiciously unoccupied buildings. You might find a lead that way.
Thank you very much. Tell me what we've got, Bags.
Yet another shell company. Blimey, this is like looking through a mermaid's lingerie drawer.
Thanks a million, Bags. Another protest outside an abandoned building. Perhaps we should investigate to see if we can find some connection to that Toussaint kleptocrat.
This place isn't owned by Grantha, but rather a different, equally vague and sinister shell corporation in the British Virgin Islands.
Terrific work, old boy.
Got it. I'm uploading the photo to our channel as well, so that Toussaint may see it.
Yes, and perhaps it'll draw him out into the open where we can have our way with him. Bags, have I ever told you that you're brilliant?
Actually, I just thought he might appreciate your composition, but you're right. Good plan. I have an update. I was able to find a similarity between all the shell companies that own the properties we've been photographing.
All right, let's have it, Bags.
They all list Samuel Toussaint as majority shareholder.
Brill. We put out the cheese, and now we've got the rat.
All right, DedSec. I just read through your upload. It was mint, really. I have some goods for you lot as well.
Keep talking.
Toussaint's got his eye on the presidency, so he's looking to up his global presence. He's coming to Buckingham Palace to meet with the Crown. If we can warn the royals not to meet with this twat, it'll be a big win for DedSec and 404.
Good thing we've got more than enough evidence to prove Toussaint isn't fit to whiff royal farts. As you might imagine, the royal palace is about as secure as, well, a royal palace. But the network at Buckingham Palace Mews is marginally weaker. Try that. If we can hack the CTOS at Buckingham Palace Mews, I should be able to peep inside the stateroom where the meeting is to take place. Toussaint will have submitted his credentials in advance of the meeting. I can attach our evidence to the end of that file, and then we can watch him march confidently in and essentially announce himself a gigantic fuckhead. Not the most efficient approach, but definitely the funniest.
Got it.
Now the diplomatic corps won't touch Toussaint with a 10-foot engraved ceremonial pole being held by somebody else. I made sure to leave a little explanatory note with DedSec's logo so everyone knows who to thank.
Fabulous. Nout, we've sorted that Toussaint twat just for you. Well, you and the millions he screwed over.
Dead good. That's an international win on our hands. I'm sending all our evidence to a mate in SIRS. He's one of the good ones.
Everyone, give yourselves a giant pat on the back.
I've been monitoring the drone network. Mary Kelly has finally sent out the invitations to her slave market sale.
DedSec, it's Caitlin Lau. This is your specialty. Hack one of those drones and get the location where she's selling those poor microchipped people. Let's put an end to this.
Haitian Minister of Foreign Affairs Samuel Toussaint was arrested in front of his hotel in London today. Documents linking Toussaint to the embezzlement of millions of pounds in earthquake relief funds were made public by the hacker group DedSec. Toussaint is now in custody awaiting extradition to the United States.
Well, that was simple, even for you. Give me a moment to decipher the security codes.
So, Bagley, what do you have?
Mary Kelly is holding her sale at Hackney Baths. Opened in 1904, it was, as the name implies, a public sanitation facility. In today's more enlightened modern times, it's a slave trading market.
She mentioned foreign investors, so this is big. It means associates, clients, employees, anyone remotely involved in her organization. We're taking Mary Kelly down from within.
Inspector Lau wants to take her case against Mary Kelly to a contact in the Attorney General's office, which means gathering as much data as we can to make sure it has the leverage needed for them to prosecute.
The microchips are a huge part of this equation that we know almost nothing about. We need something tangible about these things. See if you can find anything. Blueprints, receipts, samples.
So, the plan is simple. Crash the Kellys' soiree, find out as much as you can, and, minor detail, try not to get killed.
Can't be too careful at the Baths team. Mary can kill all her captives with the push of a button. If we try to free them now, they're good as dead. She doesn't know we're on to her yet. That gives us the advantage.
Now what?
Don't just blunder in. Hack the building's CTOS hub and see what to expect once you're inside.
Solid idea. I'm in the system.
Get all the names, places, dates, whatever information you can in there. We need to build this case. And find a way to free those people.
Righto. I'll go see what I can find.
Aye, no one's here yet. Good thing, too. The champagne's late. And you know how these rich bastards like free plonk. We ain't off the teat with it. Yeah, products primed and ready for sale. No worries. Nah, she ain't coming. Not for this lot, at least, which is fine with me. She's the boss and all, but, exactly. Always on eggshells when she's around. Oh, bound to be bloody, too. Later. Come on, look at the camera. Straight. Right, that's good. Stand up now, and slowly turn around.
I don't want to do this, please.
Get your fucking ass up. Fucking miserable. There's no way this bastard will sell. The buyers expect high quality stuff.
All right then, get him downstairs. We'll update the catalogue and put his stats online.
No, I'm sorry. I'll do what you say. Don't take me there, no!
Shut the fuck up!
Damn. What the hell?
We gotta see about this.
Chances are good the basement will be locked. Chances are equally good that one of these knobheads left their access codes laying around somewhere.
Isn't this just the most posh night out? Darling, let's go have some bubbly and maybe buy ourselves a servant. Sick cunts.
Keep your head. If we try anything before disabling the microchips, Mary Kelly is liable to purge her inventory.
Well, there it is. The Golden Goose. Mary Kelly's set up a fucking online marketplace for the darkest shit imaginable. Human trafficking, black market organs, guns. These people have to be stopped.
I suggest washing your hands after this. Well, here's something interesting.
Miss Kelly, why is our explosive shipment delayed? You've received the crypto.
Every penny, love. Must admit, I thought you was some trolls chatting shit in Mum's basement.
And what do you think now?
I think you're well funded. And my organisation could be implicated in something quite ghastly. I think the price just doubled.
True to your reputation. But we can offer you something more valuable than money.
What's that then?
Power. We can make you the Queen of London.
Queen, eh? A queen is sovereign, autonomous.
Unchecked. Release our shipment, and London will be yours to rule.
Oh, I know a good deal when I hear one. Fireworks are on the way. Careful you don't burn yourselves now.
Ah, this is the nail in her coffin. Mary Kelly supplied the explosives for the bombings. Add that to the slaves and the organ market, she is done.
That's an interesting turn of events. So Mary isn't Zero Day, but she's involved. I have to admit, Zero Day's plan to cover their tracks was clever, and it worked. Even I didn't suspect this, and I suspect a lot of things.
Let's not lose sight of what we're doing here. We need everything on the Golden Goose for Caitlin's case. Bagley, were you able to recover any data?
This is a simple market site. I've recovered inventory lists, but not much that will help Inspector Lau's case.
Bags, we need to find the website servers. We can siphon the information Caitlin needs and shut this down before it goes fully online.
I'd love to, but the servers are rudely jumping all over the world. They're probably using a shuffle protocol and some kind of mixnet. I can work it out, obviously, but it will take me a few days.
The guy upstairs who welcomed everyone seems to be running the show. Might save us some time.
DedSec, we need that server data. Once we have it, I'll take it to the Attorney General's office. Mary Kelly is going down for all of this.
We cannot leave the servers or the microchip relay operational. We have to free everyone with one of these things. So let's do it.
Next stop, Neogate. It seems Mary hid the Golden Goose service in the heart of a cybersecurity software company. I don't condone her actions, but I must applaud the method.
Well, here I am.
Neogate hasn't been around for long, but they're leading the antivirus market. I bet the Kellys have something to do with this growing success. Regardless, we're about to destroy all of it.
Listen, I want that as bad as you do. But let's gather all the evidence we can before blowing it up. This is what we've been chasing after this whole time.
I suggest hacking the camera network to see what's what. These feeds are from a sub-basement under the server room. Anyone up for some light entertainment?
You see, it contains a chemical cocktail. Botulinum, conotoxin, succinylcholine. Well, why go into specifics if you wouldn't even understand? Let's just say it took a lot of trial and error to get the mix right. Wouldn't want it killing too quickly or contaminating the
Oh my god, this is where they implant the microchips. Test them. Bagley, capture all this footage. It's all going into my case file.
Here's another. I'm glad to see they're trying to keep things sterile. Don't want to risk infection. One more.
At issue are the strong convulsions triggered by the microchips, and concern over the possibility of damaging the valuable merchandise, the eyes being the most vulnerable. Initial findings indicate that the microcharge may be the problem. Although the damage to the lower stem is minimal, it is enough to trigger strong convulsions in approximately...
Shut it off, Bagley. I've seen much too much already. Let's move on.
There's a special place in hell for all the people involved in this operation.
You've got all the Golden Goose data along with this footage. Plus, you have her conspiring and the bombings. That must be enough to put Mary away.
I hope so. Now, how about blowing that shit up and disabling those microchips?
Lovely.
The microchips are no longer functioning. I think Kelly's Golden Goose is cooked.
Oh my. I can smell that stinker through my optic.
Just leave the area before the same thing happens to you, all right?
We have enough, DedSec. I'm going to my contact in the Attorney General's office right now. No time to waste. Mary Kelly is finally going down. Thanks.
Don't let us down, Caitlin.
There's still people out there chipped under Mary's control. We can't just abandon them.
Any second now, Mary Kelly is going to realize that her personal slaves are no longer slaves and more like potential witnesses. We should apprehend her before she turns them into definite corpses.
We can't risk that happening. It might throw a spanner in Caitlin's plans. But we need to help those last few people she's threatening.
The Kelly stronghold is at the Sandstone residence. I've marked it on your map. Mary's possibly going on a rampage of cleaning house, and she still has control over the microchips in her vicinity. We need to disable them from her security system, if we don't want all the help to die.
Got it.
That's it. I'm calling.
And Finney. Take a look at this.
Come on, jump! Bring it on then, fuck! Come! Peter!
Bloody hell.
Right. Well, at least the chips are disabled. Mary has sealed herself in her office downstairs, but the mainframe will repower the elevator. Oh, and guards are on the lookout, so do try to survive.
Wonderful.
Done. The elevators are operational and you can access Mary's office now. And Inspector Lau is on channel. None too happy, I'm afraid.
DedSec, what the hell are you doing over there? We had a deal. We do this my way. That's why we gathered all that proof. I have the paperwork we need.
Is your paperwork going to stop her killing her slaves? The woman's a mad dog, Lau.
We don't have time to fucking discuss this again. Get in there and stop her from doing anything drastic. I'm on my way.
Come on then. I don't need no fucking microchip to gut you, filthy bastards! Oh! DedSec, is it? At least your timing's good.
The Met's coming to take you in.
Oh, I am counting on it, love. Everyone freeze! Back away from her. Mary Kelly, you're under arrest. Take me in, Inspector. I'll throw myself on the mercy of the bleeding court. But don't plan on me staying around very long. You lot! I gave you purpose when this city spit you out! We'll be seeing each other again very soon. Stop! You don't think she's gonna let you scum take her white whale?
Who are you protecting? The system or the people?
Promise us. Promise us she won't go free.
Go. I'll take care of this.
Well, DedSec, you got your wish. Mary won't be walking away from this or anything else. I wanted to do this the right way, but after everything I've seen, I guess I couldn't let her live.
She had it coming, Lau. And it's all she deserved. For the lives she destroyed, for Angel. You did the right thing.
I wish things could be done by the book, Caitlin, but they can't. That's why we're here. We did the right thing.
I don't know. That was some version of justice, but not mine. At least, I didn't think it was when we started all of this.
Well, the Queen may be dead, but there are plenty of Clan Kelly peons willing to take up the mantle.
You're right about that, Bagley. I will keep my ear to the ground. I hear about more Clan Kelly shenanigans, you'll be the first to know. You're good partners, DedSec. Let's keep it going.
You'll like this. Got word from Hamish that Nigel Cass is planning to unveil some new nasty project at a press conference.
And why would I like that? Albion's always got some sort of nasty plan going.
Because Hamish has convinced his Albion contact to talk to us. Apparently it took some doing, since Radu's a squirrely sort. He's been especially agitated lately. But he has insider information we could use. The meeting's at the Drowning Post.
Wouldn't mind a drink while we plan how to give Nigel sodding Cass a black eye. This is the place. Where's our informant?
Bad news from Hamish. His contact is running late. May as well make yourself comfortable.